Thank you guys for joining me for this episode of Real News Today. I am really excited to have my guest today, Vicky Knee. We actually met because we both are on a panel through the Diamond Factor Experience, and we have our own shows there that are sponsored by the Diamond Factor Experience. So we had such a great conversation on our last panel. We were able to talk back and forth through Messenger, and I'm excited to have her here today so we can see what other interesting conversations we could have. But before we get into that, I'm going to give Vicky the opportunity to introduce herself.
Hello. I'm just going to agree to being recorded. My name is Vicky Knee, and yes, I met Lachelle in during a panel discussion of that Barb had with some of the sponsors that were able to attend last month, and I'd never done anything like that before. And I think Lachelle and I recognized in each other that we both had extremely similar mindsets.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not too sure if I'm speaking out of turn here, but I really felt a connection. And so
Mm-hmm.
I just assumed that she did too.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And I
Yeah.
think, you know what, this is good because so many people have those connections or they're afraid to maybe be their authentic selves, because a lot of times those connections come from speaking your truth,
Yes.
and not really going with the fray of what everybody else says. So I think this is really a good thing to kind of start with because this is one of the things that hinders a lot of people from networking. Well, I don't know if I want to say that.
You
People
want
may not
to
agree or whatever.
say something stupid or appear too
Right.
easy. But, I have to say, the thing that I was drawn to when
Mm-hmm.
we met in your conversations were a couple of things. And one
Mm-hmm.
of them was how meticulous you and how precise your language was towards presenting your thoughts.
Hmm.
And I really appreciated that because not too many, it spoke to me of somebody who actually thought about what they said before they said it. Zowie. Now there's a new twist on things. But but I'm sure anybody that really knows you well will probably agree with me that yes, that is Lachelle. She
Mm-hmm.
says what's on her mind, but she presents it in a very direct and clear fashion. And I
Mm.
really like that because I'm a life coach.
Mm-hmm.
Is to listen to people and to hear between the lines
Mm.
if you want to get that specific. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
always looking for what's not being said. What kind
Mm-hmm.
of words are being used on a regular basis? What is speaking to me? What am I hearing that maybe I should address and
Mm.
clarify?
I love that. That is so good.
Clarification is the biggest job that a coach can do. Is
Mm-hmm.
we need to be really clear on what people who are talking to us are saying and what
Mm-hmm.
they mean by what they're saying. And so
Mm-hmm.
I like to give people a chance to, number one, um, think about what it is that they just said to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I give them the wiggle room to say, you know what? No, I didn't really mean that. I
Mm.
meant this. You never want to paint people in a corner and make them defend what they've just
Right.
said incorrectly.
I love that. And, so one of the things, this is a good thing because, I like that element of the person changing their mind or
Boy, do
rephrasing
we
what
ever
they
need a
said.
lot of that going on right now.
Right.
You
Absolutely.
we need to give people the emotional space and
Mm-hmm.
freedom to to do that without shaming, without attacking, without
Mm.
just it doesn't matter. You've changed your
So
mind. You
true.
misspoke. Okay.
So true.
You know,
Yeah,
continue
it's,
the conversation.
and I tell that to my kids because I'm like, I feel like I'm not the same person I was yesterday. I shouldn't be. I should be learning evolving. And one day I may look at something some way, but if I'm learning, I may learn that that way wasn't the only way, or maybe it's not the best way. If I decide that I'm aspiring for something else, I might have to let that go or something.
And you know, one of the things we always have to remember when we are making decisions on is this right or is this wrong is the first thing you need to ask yourself is, what do I want?
Mm,
What do I want this particular action to do? What do I want it to deliver to me?
mm.
Right?
That's good. I don't think a lot of people consider that, you know?
Well, you do
And
need to know the end result, you know,
mhm,
and oh, I think I've heard it in many, many ways, but probably not. I'm kind of simple when it comes to
mhm,
that. So I like,
mhm.
you know, and um, I'm not subtle.
Right.
Good at that.
Yeah,
Like it. I try to be kind. I try to be gentle, but I don't like to be subtle.
yeah.
Because I find that that gives too much room for the person to misunderstand what I'm
Mhm,
them, and for
mhm.
me then to take the high ground and say, well, you know, they got this wrong, right?
Right. I
So
love that.
so I take it as my responsibility to communicate clearly. And that's what I really
Mhm.
appreciated about the way you spoke.
Mm,
Right?
thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. And
Yeah.
also, I don't think either one of us is really um, reserved in the aspect of praising other people.
Mm, yeah.
Praise, right? You know, it's like I love to give compliments,
Mm-mm. That
right?
was my daughter. She's asking me about something from the store.
Oh,
But yeah, so you know what? That's a good point. And I think now how do you feel that you got that way? You know, now you are a coach. Do you think it's more from the experience of your industry or this is your personality? What do you
well,
think? Because not everybody has that.
people that have known me for a long time would
Mhm,
very likely dispute what I'm just going to say right now. I
mhm.
would be interested in anybody giving me some sort of a feedback on what was I like when I was, you know, brash and young and insane, um, as we all were.
Mhm.
Um, but I like to, if I think back on my youth, I always tried to see the other person's point of view,
Mm.
right? I was always
Mhm.
kind of like, and sometimes I would argue that person's point of view, even if I didn't agree with it myself,
Mm.
which was kind of frustrating for me because I'd go, wait a minute, what am I doing? I'm winning an argument for the, you know, but
Right.
everybody else is ganging up on this point of view. I
Mm.
felt like, you know what? Somebody needs to defend that point of view.
Mm.
Now, I've become a little bit more discerning about which points of view I defend, but I still,
Right.
it's really, um, and I have worked quite hard at teaching myself
Mhm.
how to disengage from the outcome,
Mhm.
right? I don't
Mhm.
disengage from the person. I don't disengage from the interaction or from the relationship. I
Mm.
disengage from the outcome.
I love that. You know, and that's just such an intuitive thing because a lot of people are so married to the outcomes as
They will
being
defend
a
it to
part of,
the
yeah,
death.
it's like a part of their value of
Yes.
who they are or their importance or something. And, you know, it may not even serve them or they may not even want what they're arguing about,
It's
but it becomes just a competition about something that doesn't matter.
they've
That
been challenged and now they've got to defend it. And now they've defended it for so long that it's part of their identity is wrapped up in it.
exactly.
So, you know, when you ask somebody to go and drop their identity,
Mhm.
boy, are you asking a lot,
Yeah.
right? You
Mhm.
you're really demanding a lot from that person to
Mhm.
put themselves into that vulnerable position of saying I was wrong.
Right.
Who likes to be wrong? Nobody.
Right. And, and I love that because I think that was one of the major ahas I had after my last hospitalization after depression. It's like, hey, this is happening 3 times. I've been battling with this for 13 years. So, I mean, I'm the common denominator. I'm saying? I
I don't
can't
think that
keep
I'm
healing.
denying that
You
is
see?
going to give me the breakthrough that will let me push through this, right?
Right. And I get that whole thing because it was like your identity is wrapped into, well, you have success and you have these things. Well, what part of that was attached to that? And so if you feel like you have to give up that identity, then it's like, well, where does that part go? Where's the success? Where's the failure? How do I separate it? That type of thing.
Did you ever ask yourself, oh my God, if I was so wrong about this, what else was I wrong about?
Absolutely. Every day. So
And so
now I don't even have
scattered
that.
your
I love that. Yeah, I love that you said not you disengage from the outcome because that is what my life is like now. And that's such a different place
yes.
that it's hard to describe to people because a lot of people don't have that intent, And I say, you have a point of intention to when I go into every conversation, it's like, what am I going to learn from them today? What are they going to teach me? Which is totally different than
Oh, they're
let
going
me
to
go
teach you how
tell
to do
them,
it.
yeah,
Yeah.
let me go tell them I'm America's supermom and give them a few things. I'm just not like that. I'm like, okay, forget that. What am I going to learn today? It's like notebook and pen every conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And it could be the world's best cake recipe,
right.
or it could be how to fix your toilet. Important stuff. This is important stuff, right?
Exactly.
Like when we go into the situation open to receive whatever
Mm-hmm.
it is the other person wants to deliver. Like
Mm-hmm.
as a coach, and I think a lot of coaches, I don't even want to say that because I'm assuming, but I used to think that I had to be a certain way and I had
Right.
to do a certain thing. And with that presumption also came the presumption that the people coming to me are need a certain this thing, and the people coming to I have to do this and I have to do that
Mm-hmm.
to make to help them, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I tell you, that doesn't really work that well.
It doesn't. No room for nothing new. I feel like life is an evolution. And every day there's a newness that we miss out on when
Hmm.
we're so concerned about putting things in a box. We want to complain about being in a box, but we purposely do that to
Yes, we
ourselves and to
love
other
those
people all the
boxes.
time.
Well, and here's here's the thing, Michelle, is when way back, I would have a preset. Okay, this is why we're going to meet. This is their problem. This is what we're going to do. This will be the outcome.
Hmm.
Right? It was all very clearly designed. Very like now, I get people saying, "Well, what is your coaching program?" And I'm going, "What do you need?" Like
Hmm.
I let the client drive the conversation, right?
Hmm.
So, but when everything is put into those prepackaged boxes,
Hmm.
we the best we could ever do is what we planned on getting out of that prepackaged box. That is the best,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
When we drop the barriers and drop the pretense of thinking that we're controlling anything and just seeing where it so where is it that Lachelle wants to lead me? I'm having a
Hmm.
conversation with you. Where does this conversation go? And I am really just the you know accompanier, right?
Right.
In
Right.
path. Wow. We can end up in some pretty amazing spots, having some pretty amazing conversations, and we can do a lot deeper work and a lot
Mm-hmm.
more um, meaningful work
So
than
true.
we ever could, with our plans, because
Yeah.
we always plan too little.
So true. And I love the thing that you said about feeling like we have to do this certain manner with being a coach. That's why we're both in the same industry. And I say I'm a lifestyle designer, which is the same thing, right? But
But that's a very specific description, and I love it. Lifestyle designer tells me that I can have the life I want.
absolutely.
Okay.
And it's like we can do the work for what we want to build,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
And so it has the element of figuring out, that this is a project for you, by you, kind of like DIY, right? But the issue with the coaching thing that I think is important to go back to is that we try to duplicate other people instead of the principles, and I think this is where we miss it. So it's like, okay, well, how many clients do you want to serve? Well, what is it that you are inspired to teach them? We don't ask these kind of questions. We're like, okay, if you want to make six figures, this is how you do it. You know, run people through like cattle, have a check system, assessment, and all this stuff. And we lose the element for getting the results that the people are inspired to get. That makes sense.
That is so true. And I mean, look at me. I am not, I'm not a 20 something
Hmm.
gorgeous, you know, model type person
Hmm.
who seems to be the face of modern coaching these days.
Yeah.
I'm the face of experience.
Amen. Me too. Got the gray hair here.
Yeah. I can't believe you've only got that much gray hair. With I mean, with the family, your kids must be angels.
Uh, Now we all know that that's definitely not happening. Okay. It's so funny. Even today, I get a call from my husband. I was doing something on a class or something. And so my husband's calling me. I'm ignoring it. And so he calls one of my other kids. And so what he was saying was one of our kids was not in a testing site where he was supposed to be, even though it's virtual. So he's like, he's not where he's supposed to be. It's supposed to last till this time. And, so that here I am right in the same room with them because I have them all do this, but he's not doing what he's supposed to do. So it takes a village. Okay.
It certainly does. It certainly does. But like I say, okay, but they can't be that bad because otherwise your head would be white.
Or they have a good way of hiding it. How about that?
Well,
You know how kids can
I
be.
mean, a good way of hiding it means that they're going to get by really well in life.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if you get
But and I think it's like, and I just look at kids as, now it used to be that time where I was so uptight. And I think that's where I got this gray hair from was you got to do it this way. You're an Atkins. You got to be like this. And now it's like, even my son who wasn't where he was supposed to be, he got on there. So later on, it's like, you know what? This is your education.
yeah,
Okay. Yeah. I'm not in the seventh grade or eighth grade, whichever one it was. Right. And this is going to be your legacy for yourself. I can't do the work for you, but at the end of the day, when you look at your grades, it's a reflection of what you did or did not do. So
yep.
I don't have any, before I would be like, oh my gosh, what kind of America supermom am I if my son doesn't pass this class? And now it's like, you know what? I have done this 10 times before. Okay. And my kids have turned out fine. If you want to go on a different path, go on and go that way. Let you learn now while you're at home rather than later on and it be
Yeah.
something bigger. You see what I'm saying?
Now, what do you think about this? I don't have children, so I speak from a place of zero authority,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm a good observer. And
Okay.
and I do believe that when parents do everything for their child, they are communicating loud and clear that they have no faith that that child is capable to do for themselves.
So true. Or, what they're doing is creating an atmosphere for the child to not have the confidence to
That's right.
make decisions without,
Without
making a mistake or something, or not knowing how to handle something that didn't work out. Like we said, they're not disengaging from the outcomes by any means.
right.
So if something doesn't end up the way they thought it should end up, then they're messed up. They don't know how to
World
bounce back from that. Yeah.
crushed.
Mhm.
And so in my mind, the responsibility of a parent is to teach their child how to figure things out
Mhm.
and to do it with compassion
Mhm.
and to be sensible, right?
Mhm.
Right. So
And and I think it's one of the things to where um it's like coaching your kids. See, I believe that each one of them has their own gift, and all of them don't have the same one, and I don't resonate with all their gifts. Some of them are like they're into technology. They can look at this and take the computer apart, put it back together. I can't even think that way. But I say that their gift will lead them. And so it's best to help them nurture that gift, help them build on that gift, rather than trying to make them mini me's or mini you. It's not about them trying to look just like you, think like you, act like you, talk like you, but for them to be the best version of themselves, and for you to be able to help them build that confidence. Because my first book that I read when I was a kid was Are You My Mother? And it was a story about this bird. It was one of those, I think it was a Dr. Seuss book, but it was a bird that was going around all these different animals because he had got separated from his mom
mhm,
and was trying to figure out, are you my mother? And so this situation, when it comes to talent, everybody is going to have a different talent.
yes,
I can be your mother, but I may not look like what you're expecting me to look like because my talent's different than your talent.
yeah,
So it's up to me to kind of give you the tools and skills so that you can get confident in whatever it is that your purpose and gift is,
that's
if
right.
that makes
The
sense.
purpose and the gift, that is the specific.
Mhm.
That is the difference. Whereas learning how, number one, learning to be confident in yourself and in your abilities, and number two, recognizing what it is that is different about you that you want to pursue
Mhm.
is is universal. Figuring it out and learning to figure it out applies to any problem.
Mhm.
It's a formula. It's something that we can teach somebody. And
Mhm.
okay, well, you figured it out. And so step one, step two, the details might change, but
Right.
but the end, like the whole process is always the same.
So true. And if you don't have confidence, you're not gonna make any decisions.
No, no, you're just
You
going
know,
to.
you're gonna have fear, you're gonna get stuck, you're gonna be procrastinating. I mean, how many people are doing business but afraid to put a shingle out doing what they're already doing because it's underneath the umbrella of business? How many people have stories? They're writing blogs or whatever, but you tell them to put it in a book and they're like, oh no, I can't do that.
That's
Right? Because they've been blogging underneath the direction of somebody telling them to do that,
yes,
but they can't think that, man, you know what, I can do this for myself.
yes,
So many people are stuck in the places that they are because they don't have the confidence to just make a decision. I'm going to try this. I'm going to do it, whatever.
that's so true.
Mhm.
That really is because it's. Yeah, I mean, and that's one of the reasons why I really like what I'm doing.
Mhm.
Because if if you've got the inclination to lift people up, to be kind of a cheerleader to them, to support them, um, you know. And again, because as a coach, I don't have a vested interest in what you decide to do.
Mm-hmm.
Right? If you decide you don't want to do any of this and it's all a bunch of hooky and it's yeah, you know, that's okay. If you decide to move to Timbuktu, oh well, okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Hope we have internet, right?
Right.
So many people that go to their friends
Yeah.
or even their family and they ask them, they do the survey, right? They'll
Mm-hmm.
they'll ask them about what do they think about that? What do they think about this?
Mm-hmm.
Well, forgetting that each one of those people has a vested interest
Mm-hmm.
in the outcome that they choose,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So as a mother, you might try to direct the kid to stay at home for another year, right?
Right.
Right? As a
Right.
girlfriend, you might try to direct that person to move out right away. And
Mm-hmm.
no wonder people are so conflicted,
Right.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So
And just the whole thing of like we ask people based on the answer that we want, you know,
yeah,
because we're not disengaging from the outcome. I mean, just putting it out there, you know?
that's right.
So it's like, I really want it to work out this way. So I'm going to ask this person because they kind of resonate with that. They're telling me what I want to hear. And this is the thing, the internal conflict is with yourself because you know that you're married to the outcome. You know that
And you know that you're lying about it.
lying, that's it. We are lying to ourselves.
You know,
This is
so
true.
this is exact, and you're so you've hit it right on the head. Is like you will identify all the people around you, and you've got a pretty good idea of
Mhm.
which way they're leaning on this question. So you're
Mhm.
going to check in with the people who are going to give you the kinds of
Mhm.
responses that you're hoping for.
Or you formulate the argument based on what you want the outcome to be, you know?
That's the other.
So, yeah, we all do it. I mean, so definitely. Well, this has just been some great conversation. I hope people are taking notes because I'm going to go back and write down these nuggets. I'm telling you,
Oh.
these are things that that's
No,
the only thing about a video interview. It's like, man, I need to write that down. That was a good one.
I'm a terrible note taker. I'm absolutely terrible
What?
note taker. But that's why I record all my sessions.
Mhm.
So that I can go back and re-listen to them. Right?
Yeah.
They're not always video. Some of them are just audio, right? Or
Mhm.
I do like to have them recorded because then I can really be okay. Oh yeah, right. And
That
mostly I said I was going to do that, didn't I?
yeah, that you know what, and it makes so much sense because I think this is one of the things I like about podcasting or meeting people and having an intention of what am I going to learn because it's totally new territory.
Yeah.
So you don't know what's on that path and there's so many new things that are rich that you cannot always keep up with everything. That's why I'm taking notes, because it's like, and sometimes it's the simplest things. Somebody says something and they're just rushing through that. I'm like, wait a minute, disengaging from the outcome, that's a big thing because, so many people.
Well, listen, I just listened to an audiobook over
Hmm.
over the weekend,
Hmm.
and it was just it was one of the audible deals of the day type thing.
Okay. Hmm.
So you can buy them for like $3 or $2 or whatever.
Hmm.
I think, and this one is less. It's shorter than 3 hours long. So
Hmm.
easily listen to it during the course of the day. But I absolutely have to tell everybody about it. So
Okay.
here's the book. It's called The Four Agreements.
I love it. Read
It's
it.
fabulous, and it's on Audible, and I'm sure it's on Kindle and a few others
Hmm.
places.
Hmm.
It's the author. is, let me see.
Don Miguel Ruiz.
Yes.
That was my book, okay, for 2019. Yeah.
I absolutely, it was just like, oh my God, this has just blown my mind.
Blown your mind.
You know, I mean,
The fact that we agree to stuff without even questioning.
yeah,
Just go right along and just agree. Don't even think to ask a question. That book was a game changer for me.
it is. I think that book could be a game changer for just about anybody
Yeah,
that just reads it with an open heart and an open mind.
I'm telling you. It blew me away. It
I
blew
think
me away.
it
Mhm.
really is something, and the fact that it's so nice and short, and I,
Yeah,
you can do a chapter, you can do an agreement a day,
so true.
just review it and just go back to the beginning, and it's, I think it's 7 or 8 short chapters, and
Yeah,
you know it's
powerful. And
powerful.
my son got me that. So he got it for me. Um, I didn't read it until last year, but I think he had got it the year before that. And
Hmm.
I'm a book person, you know. So when I get books, I just, but for some reason, I don't know why I didn't start reading it. It took me a year to get to it. And it could have been because, what does my son know about what he's trying to tell me? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
It might have been a little bit of that ego. But when I read that book, I thought, what? My year could have been totally different had I read this book when I should have been reading it. You see what I'm saying? But I mean, I think everything happens in its own time because
I agree with you.
I might not have even been open. I might have been like, what? But that book, I'm telling you, it is just, it's
So
phenomenal.
when you're watching this, right, this is going to be in her notes here on the video, right? You're going to
Right.
include the note,
Mm-hmm.
title of the book. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
because it is absolutely fantastic.
Absolutely fantastic. Yeah. And I think if you're a coach, this is like one of the things that's just should be in your toolkit.
Oh,
Coach.
absolutely.
Yeah. I mean,
Absolutely. As a matter of
mhm.
fact, thinking, you know what, maybe I should just set up some sort of thing with Amazon, with Audible, so that I can, send this thing to all my clients.
That could be true. Yeah.
Yeah. Because
It's
it
a
would
game
really give,
changer.
right?
It's a game changer. Yeah.
It
Provided that they're ready to read it. You see what I'm saying? But
Well,
it's like any other book.
they're in their thing for as long. I mean, there will be a quiz.
I love that. I love that. I think when people, it just really started the process for me to unlearn the things that were not serving me, you
that
know?
that is one of the really, really, and the ask questions, and stop making assumptions,
Yes.
right? It's like,
Yeah.
what do you how do you know what's in that person's heart and mind? You don't.
So true. So true.
Yeah,
So
every
good.
little bit of it I thought was very, very, and
Mhm.
anyway, we could that's this is another
I know.
video.
Look, we can start our own little book club on that one.
Yeah,
Okay.
good
But
idea.
yeah, so tell everybody, how to get a hold of you. When does your show come on and that type of thing?
Oh yes, okay. Well, let's see now. My show comes on Thursdays at I guess it's 11:30 Central Standard Time,
Okay.
12:30 Eastern Standard Time, and 2 p.m. Newfoundland time.
Okay.
Yeah, we're that half
Okay.
hour
Mhm.
diff, right? And
Mhm.
it's on the Diamond Factor.
Mhm.
So the fabulous Barbara Beckley is
Mhm.
is working really hard at promoting our shows.
Mhm.
Uh, it just blows my mind, all the work that that woman does for everybody.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Mhm.
she's quite the gal.
Mhm.
And but I mean, if people want to connect with me directly, you can
Mhm.
go to my website. I've got
Mhm.
two, but probably the easiest one would be vickyKnee.com. So
Okay. Mhm.
VICKYKNE.com,
Mhm.
and go to the contact page, send me a note, or to my Facebook, page or profile.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah. I'm not
Awesome.
very imaginative when it comes to names, so
Hey, I feel you. And that's a unique one. So why even try to change it?
yeah.
So that's good. Well, this has just been awesome. So, what final words would you like to share with everybody?
Oh, final words. Well, Merry Christmas. Happy
Hmm.
holidays. Be nice to each other.
Hmm.
Please vote. And your Canadian neighbors are counting on you.
Hmm.
And it just chill out. Be happy.
I
You know,
love it.
don't be defensive. Don't think people hate you. Don't think people love you. Just,
Hmm.
just take it easy.
Great advice. Great advice. And I love that. Keep it simple. That's just one of the things that we make things more complicated than they have to be.
And more me centered that they have to be, right? As soon as
Yes.
I think that, oh my God, Michelle, she didn't, how come she acted like that to me? Oh,
Hmm.
what is she doing? How come she's mad at me? Right?
Hmm.
And all of a
Hmm.
sudden, you got this whole thing going on in your head around
Hmm.
why Michelle doesn't like me anymore.
Right.
Or Michelle is going, when did I last change the oil in my car? You know?
Right. Right. So true. So true. That is so true. Yeah. I love it. Well, this has just been
Well, thank you
wonderful,
so much
Vicky.
for having me.
Yes. Anytime. I mean, look, these kind of conversations are always welcome. I love it when I'm
Well,
getting
next
out of
time
my
you come to
comfort
my
zone.
place.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So
Fantastic.
we want to thank everybody for watching today and encourage you to reach out to Vicky. Watch her show on the Diamond Factor Experience on Thursdays at
Thursdays at
7:30 Central, 12:30 Eastern Standard, 2 p.m. Newfoundland time.
that's right.
So
And if you
we
don't know where Newfoundland is, it's that kind of triangle thing off the coast of Canada on the east side.
awesome. So it sounds like a great place to visit when everything opens
Well,
up.
you better have lots of time when you come. Everybody comes here with like, oh yeah, I've got 2 weeks off and I'm going to tour the island, thinking because we're an island
Mm-hmm.
that we're small.
Awesome. I love it. Sounds intriguing. I'm getting my bags packed, okay?
You just let me know when you're coming, my dear, and we'll we'll have it.
Hey, I look, mine is like a getaway. It's like, hey, I'm escaping my kids now. Come on, let me stay
But you
with
know
you.
what? You bring them with you. They'll have lots of stuff to do. I tell you.
Yes. I tell you, look, we after this weekend we had with no internet, it doesn't take a lot for us to be entertained. So that's a good one.
You got to do that every once in a while. So now what you do
Yes.
is, at least once a month, you go out there, you unplug the internet, right?
Yes.
And you
Yeah.
tell them, oh, geez, we've got no internet again, so that
Mhm.
they keep up with that,
So true.
entertainment.
Yeah. Those times are really good. It is true. It brings everybody together.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
yeah. Well, we really appreciate all you guys for watching. Reach out to Vicky, and if something she said resonates with you, give her a call.
Yeah,
Reach out to her on Messenger. This is what this is about. Finding people that resonate with you because we want you to be the best version of yourself. That's what our mission is. So, thank everybody for watching, and we will see y'all on the next episode.
bye.
Bye, everybody.